Do you hear crackling in your ears or a bubble popping sensation inside your ear? Your ear always feels full. You feel like you're hearing underwater. If so, it's called Eustachian tube dysfunction. But I want to talk about the bubbles popping noise and the crackling noise because it's something that we hear in our office all the time from patients when they start care, especially when they suffer from Meniere's disease, where they have severe lockdown in the Eustachian tube and the pressure that they feel, which of course many times when the pressure builds they have the drop attacks. But if you're hearing the crackling and the bubble popping sensation, what that indicates is there's some communication between the inner ear and the throat. So the Eustachian tube is an airway that connects the inner ear to the throat, and when it's open, everything's cool. However, when the muscles inside the Eustachian tube wall start to become spastic, it can lock the Eustachian tube wall down. And in the case of bubbles, crackling, noises, it's an indicator that there's just a little bit of air that's starting to get back and forth. And when we have patients that are suffering from Meniere's disease or vertigo and they have complete lockdown of the Eustachian tube, it's actually a good sign in the first week where they come in and they say, you know what, I'm hearing bubbles crackling. Because what it means is the Eustachian tube's not completely locked down, it's starting to open up and there's some air getting back and forth between the inner ear and the throat, and that's the crackling that you're hearing. So if you're not under upper cervical care and you're hearing that in your ear, it means you don't have a complete lockdown. There's some communication, but I'm sure any of you that are listening, Eustachian tube dysfunction is no fun because it's usually associated with TMJ issues, imbalance issues, dizziness, vertigo, cognitive problems. A lot of times they have pain at the back of the head and headaches. The muscles that line the Eustachian tube wall are controlled in the upper cervical spine in a structure called the brain stem. And just like your trapezius muscle or your bicep can go into spasm, so can the muscles that line the Eustachian tube wall. And if that is occurring, that is at the root of most people who are suffering with Eustachian tube dysfunction. So if you're dealing with the problems that I've mentioned, you can get to an upper cervical chiropractor. We are located in Sarasota, Florida. We do offer a free consultation exam. If you're outside the Florida area, there's a new website launching that'll house a bunch of doctors, www.uccnearme.com.